Good morning. Hope everyone's well. Time for a weekly catch up and a little bit earlier this week. So, on a Friday, I've got my 3 day um, weekend. So, I'm going to get it done today and out of the way. Me and the other half are off to a Japanese festival tomorrow in Perth. We both love all things Japanese, and eventually we will get to Japan. We're just working our way round. We'll do a few festivals first, and then we go from there. So anyway, Japanese food, entertainment, and yeah, objet d'art, I believe. So we will see how that goes tomorrow. Oh, you can see this is back on. Now I haven't had this on for a while, to be honest, and my wrist and hand has actually been good. It's been okay. It's on this morning, predominantly, I think, because of the change in weather. Now, it kind of is quite sudden. So we've gone from really, really, really hot nights, hot mornings, to chilly, really chilly mornings. Now, according to my other half, we are, or I am, the only person who feels cold in the way I do. He doesn't feel it so much. Now, I don't know why that is. I've always hated the cold. Part of the reason I love Spain so much because it was warm and it was really warm and I loved that. But because of the degenerative issues I've got, arthritis, I prefer a warm, hot climate. Now, because the mornings are getting colder, it really, really does play havoc with this. And it just, yeah, it's painful. And, do you know, if I could go somewhere even hotter than where I am, I would. Now, there are places I could go, obviously, because there are much hotter parts of Australia, even. Darwin, for example. So there are hot places. This is hot, but it's because I think because of the desert temperatures, especially during the winter, it can get really cold. So I've got my super warm duvet ready, believe me. Now, this week, still on health issues, I had to see my doctor to get my cholesterol results. Now, if you remember last week, it was a case of, look, you need to get retested. The pharmacist had been giving me the wrong dosage for 4 months. Wrong dosage of statins for 4 months. The pharmacist said it could be totally out of control. They don't know. They didn't know. So she said, go to your doctor. Had the test done. Went to get the results Wednesday. I could see them in my app. They were just locked because I have to see a doctor to get these results. Point of fact, it's just to get more money out of me. So it cost me another $100 to sit down with. He's a lovely doctor, don't get me wrong. And it's not like the 4 minute chat you get in the UK. You can literally, you can sit there for half an hour if you want to have a chat. We did have quite a long chat actually. But to pay £100 for a chat, it's just, God. Anyway, the results were fine. They were absolutely perfect. He said to me he's not seen such a good set of results across the board. So this is all bloods for a long, long time. Certainly someone my age. I mean, at 52 years old, there should be other things going on. I have got other things, but as a rule, I'm quite fit and healthy. Now, part of our conversation, I was talking about the past and how overweight I used to be and how much I used to smoke and drink and my lifestyle choices and all this type of thing. And he sort of looked at me and he said, "Well, I can't believe that." He said, "You seem to be, you seem happy in your body." That was his word, as though it's been with you forever. But this body is quite new. It's not perfect. It's still really not perfect, but it's a body I'm getting used to. I'm not used to being thin. I'm thinner. I'm not thin. I don't ever think I'm going to be like I used to be in, oh my God, early 2000s. I think I got down to a 28 waist. And, I wasn't necessarily following the best diet of the world, to be honest with you. So I've probably done more damage than good, but hey. These days it's different. Healthy eating, healthy everything. Oh, I have cut out all processed um, meat now, so no ham, which I love. It's all normal, unprocessed, white meat only. So, so at least the cholesterol's fine. That that's made me happy, and I really do not intend to go back to the doctor for quite a while. Even if some pharmacist accosts me and tells me I need to, I'm not going to. I refuse. I paid out enough money in doctor's fees since I've been here. No more. Now, this week we went to see Miriam, and first of all we went to a restaurant it's been on my radar for a while actually, the Italian Street Kitchen in Rains Square in Perth CBD. It looks lovely. Do you remember is it Oliver? Where the little boy's looking outside the window and all these rich toffs are inside eating dinner and sort of there and looking through it. I can't remember what film it's in, but I used to look through the window and I think, oh my God, that's lovely. It looks really posh there. And I thought, it's probably really not for me because I'm not that posh. But anyway, I decided to make an appointment. I decided to make a reservation and we had dinner there. And it was special. It was lovely. It was such a lovely restaurant. The food was delicious. Those little tiny, not tiny, but those smaller portions. So you're not stuffed. Really, presentation was beautiful. And I couldn't fault it in any shape or form. The tiramisu was all homemade and they actually dished it out the bowl onto your plate rather than some frozen thing from the freezer. Delicious, lovely. Little bit more expensive than what I would usually pay, but in my opinion, well worth it. Definitely, if you're in Perth, go to the Italian Street Kitchen. It is lovely, and the staff are exceptional. From there, we went to Perth Concert Hall. So we went to see Miriam, and I'd never been to the concert hall before. Quite a modern building, quite an ugly building. It did actually remind me a little bit of the National Theatre in London. And the last time I went there was to see Animal Farm, which was, years and years ago when I was at school. We were reading George Orwell. And despite looking so stark from the outside, it's actually a beautiful building, really. Same with Perth Concert Hall. It's quite brutalist. It's brutalist architecture, but it's lovely inside. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm quite a fan of the brutalist architecture anyway. It's very utilitarian. I love it. And anything built in the 60s and 70s, big blocks of flats, whatever. I love it. Absolutely love that era. It's not popular, I know. Miriam was a joy. She was, she was rude. She was political. She swore a lot. And it was wonderful. She's got one of those voices. Now, the only other person I can compare it to is Joanna Lumley. Her voice, like Joanna Lumley's, for me, is very comforting. And I've had some audio books, actually both of those, and I always end up falling asleep. Not because they're boring, but because the voice is just very, very calming. And her voice, Miriam's voice, despite swearing, is actually very comforting. Now, I think it was Stephen Fry who said that we should all swear more, and he is very, very articulate, educated, good with words. And even he says nothing wrong with swearing. And there isn't. it's a way of expressing yourself. And I think I remember Stephen Fry saying the most intelligent people in the world swear. And it talks of your intelligence when you swear. Not too sure about that, but hey. Anyway, she was fantastic. She talked about her life with her partner. She talked about politics both here and in the UK. And she's exceedingly left wing. I think we all know that anyway. I have my political views. I'm definitely not as left wing as what she is. I'm certainly not as right wing as our dear leader in the UK. So, but yeah, it was great. We were quite near the front as well. I got a couple of signed books from her, which wonderful. I'll probably never read them. They would just sit there preserved for eternity. I miss my collection. I used to have a huge collection of books. I had thousands of books. God now, what a shame. Also this week, I got a new job. So I will no longer be selling towels, bed linen, Manchester, which is the Australian word for bed linen. I'm going to be doing something else. I won't tell you what yet, but it's a new job. And to be honest with you, this week I've blitzed the job market. And I've had interview after interview. I've had to have early interviews because they're being done from the eastern states, Sydney, New South Wales. And it's been tiring. This week has been really, really tiring for that reason. And I've enjoyed it. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've enjoyed getting back into that market, finding out what's about. And I'm really happy with the choice I've made. I've had a few choices, and I think this one will suit me at the moment. It will suit me at my time of life. I don't want nothing, or sorry, I don't want nothing. I don't want anything too strenuous, arduous. I just want to have an Australian lifestyle, and I want to have a job that fits around that lifestyle, and that's what I've chosen. The good thing about Australia is jobs, they do fit around lifestyle. That's particularly true Western Australia, because you do have a certain lifestyle here, and they're very happy to accommodate that, and that's great. That's fantastic. So I will obviously blog about that in the months to come. So I will start the new job after our holiday in Vietnam, and yeah, it's something to look forward to when I get back. And finally, I've applied to vote in the UK. I am literally so incensed by the awful Tory government over there. I am actually applying to vote because every ballot paper counts. That government, that shoddy, awful, terrible government needs to go. And this is kind of, I mean, I'm applying to vote from overseas. It's going to be a long-winded process. But I need to do it. I just need to do it. And I think if you are an expat and you are living overseas, apply to vote. It really will, it will help. I mean, I'm not allowed to vote in Australia. Certainly not in national elections. I don't know I don't know about local, but I'm certainly not in national elections or referenda. So I still vote in the UK, certainly for general elections. And it's important that I do that, especially this time. And it's important that government is gone, really gone. They're just terrible. And I don't understand how people have kept them in power for so long. That's my Miriam moan. I think she had probably the same moan, and I think hopefully all of you in the UK also had that moan, that angst inside of you, and that get up and go to get up and vote them out, because that's what you've got to do. So tomorrow, as I said, we're off to the Japanese festival. The sun, I can see through the sun is out. And I think it's going to be quite hot. It's going to be still around 30, 31 degrees during the day. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm just looking forward to having 3 days off, which will be lovely. And then obviously we've got Easter after that, so I've got a shorter week as well. So I'm in the final countdown to the new job now, and yeah, all positive for a change. Ciao.